Welcome back. Episode 45 of the Splash Sports Podcast. It has been a minute. Boys have been not really busy, just haven't made time to record. We're all here, Barrett, G. Russ, and we're going to jump right into it. March Madness has been going on, and we're now here to the Final Four. All four one seeds have made it, which I think for the first time since or was it 2008? No,
That was the 2000s. I just don't remember.
2000s, early
Hmm.
2000s.
Yeah.
So Duke, Florida, Houston, and Auburn. Uh, Auburn and Florida play each other, and then Duke and Houston play, I think, today, right? That sound about right? Yep. Today, Jiros, your kind of thoughts on the
Yeah, it's this almost never happens, which I think says a lot about how good these four teams are. They were both the whole season, probably the four clear best teams. Auburn dominated the whole year, Florida dominated the whole year. So I think this is also partially due to the transfer portal. A lot of players are leaving these smaller schools. They may have one or two good players, but they don't have the full capabilities to be a one seed or the one through four seeds. I think that's why we didn't see many upsets this year. So it'll be interesting to see if that changes in the next few years. But I do think this will be an exciting Final Four with the four best teams remaining.
Barrett?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Grant said. I think it's really interesting to see how the landscape of college athletics as a whole is kind of changed with the NIL and the transfer portal and such. I know I'll use Belmont as an example. They're a really good mid-major basketball team, but last year their three best players, Cade Tyson, Malik Dia, and Jacoby Gillespie, all got picked up by Power Four teams, and so now Belmont and teams similar to them are kind of becoming almost like a triple A or a double A program for, bigger schools, and they're developing the players, and then once they get ready, they're jumping up to bigger schools. So it has really put those small teams at a disadvantage. But, if we're talking tonight's Final Four, I think it's going to be an exciting game. I'm really looking forward to the Florida and Auburn game more so than the other game. I think that'll be a good rematch. Florida got the best of Auburn last time, but it'll be a good game.
Don't sleep on Houston and Duke, though. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Two kind of different schemes. I'm interested to see how Cooper Flag plays against Houston's defense. But let's talk about the shocking upsets. You both kind of mentioned it of how NIL and how the transfer portal has kind of killed these mid-major teams. We saw Drake, I think, get to the round of 32. Um, we didn't see anyone below an 11 seed, I think, win, right? Does that sound about right?
No, I think Colorado State was the.
Oh, yeah, Colorado State was a 12 seed.
But
That
they're
beat
not really a mid-major, though. I
I
mean,
want to
they're
call them a mid-major. They're going to be in the
yeah.
Pac-12. You just don't, you just haven't seen it, and it is sad that it kind of lost its magic. I guess this year the tournament did. A lot of people say that this tournament was kind of boring and very simple. I don't think that. I think that there were some great games. Maryland and uh,
Colorado State.
Colorado State. Yeah, I mean Colorado State almost did become the upset kings there, but um, I don't know. I think that NIL and really the transfer portal, like Bear was saying, kills programs like Belmont, kills programs, kind of smaller programs, and then also doesn't help that if you're most of these teams that made the tournament that are smaller or mid majors teams, all their head coaches just left. Drake's head coach I know just left. Xavier's head coach I know just left. Um, New Mexico State, they got an upset. I know their head coach just left. He went to New Mexico State. I mean, he went to Xavier. Um, Jairus, you're kind of anything else on that?
Um, I mean, it does suck there was no upsets, but I think this does make the later rounds more competitive, more interesting games. Because a lot of times, there is like, every few years, a team is able to compete if they are like an 11 seed in the Elite Eight or something, but usually one of the one seeds usually just crushes them by then. So I do think with the lack of upsets this year, the games near the end of the tournament have been a little better.
Barrett?
Yeah, I agree with that. It really just kind of depends on what, you personally enjoy March Madness for. Some people enjoy it for the upsets. Some people just like watching good basketball. And so I think this year there's not been really a shortage of good basketball. I would say there's been obviously a lot less upsets, and some people prefer that, but I don't. I feel like if you're going to be a person that enjoys upsets, Your pleasure of the NCAA tournament might be decreasing by the year because I don't really see it changing here recently.
No, I just see teams getting better and better, coming like super teams, essentially, which does make it does lead to better basketball, but harder for those smaller teams to get wins. Not saying that it's not going to happen, and when it does happen, it'll be really cool. But there we go. Let's go to the MLB. I think it's week 2 of the MLB. Week 3 season has just started, and a hot topic is the torpedo bats. We saw the Yankees break out this new sort of bat invented by an MIT physics professional. Gets hired by the Yankees, and so basically the torpedo bat is just moving the barrel down a little bit. Um, and guys like Jazz Chisholm and Anthony Volpe have been absolutely raking. We've also seen guys from the Minnesota Twins, and I believe Junior Caminero for the Rays, I believe uses one. There's another guy, Ellie De La Cruz, also using one. He's starting to hit a lot better. A lot of people saying that they're illegal. Perfectly fine by the MLB. They seem to be allowing it. Barrett, your kind of thoughts on the torpedo bats here?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I feel like some people are kind of trying to blow this out of perspective a little bit. These things are not necessarily new. They've been around for the past couple of years. You're just seeing them more frequently used. I know Adley Rutschman used one last year, I believe. So I mean, it's kind of like golf, In golf, you have different clubs. It wouldn't, if we wanted to make it the most fair, everyone would use their driver for the whole course. But uh, yeah, I mean, I think it just whatever the player wants. I think it's fair game for anyone to use them. So at this point, whatever. I know Max Muncy tried one out a couple days ago. He went 0 for 2 in his first at bat to the torpedo, so he switched back to the regular bat and hit a double. So I mean, it's not for everyone. It depends on your swing type, but definitely interesting concept for sure.
Juris?
Yeah, I agree with Barrett. I think that because the Yankees were using it in their, the big market the Yankees are, they were hitting. I mean, y'all scored like 30 runs in your
I think
home opener.
15 home runs in the
Yeah,
weekend
yeah,
opener.
yeah, in your series. So I mean, I think everybody just wants to complain about the Yankees because, well, they're the Yankees and no one likes them unless you're a fan. So I think that, I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, I'm kind of surprised it took this long to figure out you could just move the barrel down, the barrel down, if you were not just hitting in the sweet spot. So it'll be interesting to see more people do. Braves made an order for them. We need them obviously, but so I mean that would be nice to have if people start using them.
Speaking of the Braves, 1-7,
Yeah.
1-7. Jack Jerkson Profar played. I think he played one game. Got suspended for 80. Oh, he played two.
hmm
Sorry, got suspended for
hmm
80 for PEDs. Um, do you all have a 200 hitter?
Yes.
How
Our
many?
backup shortstop.
Okay. So the Braves are not having a great time to start out the season. Um, just can't hit in reality.
Yeah.
How's the pitching, G-Russ?
Pitching's actually really good still. So I mean, we played the probably two top five teams of baseball right now. They're two lost. Are they Dodgers lost yesterday? I know on a weird strike them out, throw them out. I think the Padres are still undefeated. If not, they just lost their first game. So, and plus being on the West Coast, I think kind of hurt them a little bit. We're obviously far east, so the time change may have done something to, I don't know. But main thing's just been hitting. The pitching has been great. Sale's been good. Schwellenbach's been great. Hasn't allowed a run yet. Went 8 innings yesterday, but they did get a good win against the Marlins 10-0. So that should
Oh
that should
yes,
boost the fire going going forward.
oh
So they
yes,
they should be fine.
the good old Marlins. Barry, you don't have to talk about the Rays. You can talk about the Dodgers right here if you want to.
Looking good. I don't know, not much to say. Shohei's playing good. That's all that matters. So
Team's loaded. It's not even fun to watch them play. I'm going to be honest.
You
It's
act like
quite
your
sad.
team sucks.
Hey, listen, Jazz Chisholm MVP season. I'm telling you,
Okay, that's not happening.
dude's hitting nukes. Anyway, let's go. Speaking of New York, let's go to the New York Football Giants. If you haven't looked at their quarterback room, it might be the funniest and most widely diverse quarterback room. It's Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Tommy DeVito. Why their quarterback room is consistent of these guys. I'm pretty sure the Giants are also probably going to take a quarterback in the draft. Barrett, your kind of thoughts on what the Giants are doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting bringing in two veteran guys, especially if you know you're going to draft a quarterback. I don't know. That's a little interesting to me. I understand, bringing in one of them definitely to, be a veteran leader and have some competition in the room. But bringing in two kind of baffles me because now you're going to end up either having, a first round draft pick being the third stringer or Jameis or Russell being a third stringer. And I'm not sure that's what either of those signed up for. So it'll be interesting to see how, if there's a little bit of drama going out through this season with so many personalities and stuff. And even Tommy DeVito is better than a fourth string quarterback. So, yeah.
Juras?
Yeah, this is just a weird. I don't know. I don't think if you take Russell Wilson and you have James Wilson, I don't see him taking a quarterback just because that just doesn't make sense. But we have seen that front office do some weird things. We've all seen the videos of their GM and his kids, like his kid
Yeah,
telling his dad
basing
to
off
draft
of
Jane.
Madden.
Yeah, and then his kid told him to draft Jane Daniels, and he said no, basically. So it's just that's just a weird situation. It's just weird ownership, just weird everything there. So hopefully they'll get it figured out eventually.
They do have the third overall pick, and I'm interested to see what you boys are going to say on this one. The NFL draft, the top three is kind of a toss-up between really three guys and the teams. You have Cleveland, you have the Giant. I think no, Cleveland, the Giants. Who's number two? Is it
Titans.
the Titans? Yes.
Titans are
There we go.
one, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Titans, Browns, Giants. I don't know who's going to go first overall because you have Abdul Carter. He's going to have surgery. I believe is what he said. So he's going to be out for a little bit. You have the Titans who need a quarterback. You have the Giants who need a quarterback, but kind of signed guys to make it look like they're not going to get a quarterback. Who knows? Like Jira said, the front office there is weird. They didn't re-sign Saquon Barkley because they didn't want to and pay Daniel Jones, and look where that got them. Who's going to go first overall, Jiros? In your opinion?
I think that Cam Ward should go first, but if a team like the Titans as well, that I think it should be Travis Hunter because there is some question about Cam Ward. There's questions about Shedeur. There's questions about a lot of quarterbacks, but every team could use a Travis Hunter. I feel like he's one of a kind, really. So I think that if you weren't wanting a quarterback, you could throw a dart in the later rounds. You have Jackson Dart out there. You have Quinn Ewers. You have other guys out there who could be solid, but at the end of the day, they're not going to go high. So you're really not going to lose that much on a second or third round pick. So if you're not going to pick Cam Ward, I think you should go Travis Hunter.
Barrett.
Yeah, I completely agree. This quarterback class is it's very good from top to bottom. There's a lot of people like Jackson Dart and Quinn Ewers who are probably not going to be first round picks, but we saw this year in college football they're no slouch at all. So I think Titans kind of need to. You're getting with Travis Hunter, you're getting a player who's a great receiver and a great defensive back. It'll be, we'll see what happens when he gets to the pros, obviously. But for now, you're getting a player who plays both sides of the ball, who's going to impact the game in pretty much every facet. And you have the ability to, go into a later round and pick still a really good quarterback. So if they don't go with Cam Ward, I agree with Grant, but we'll see what they decide to do.
I can see him taking a guy like Shedeur Sanders because let's face it, the Titans don't have a player that brings a spotlight to them. They're also getting a new stadium, I think, next year. So you kind of need some star power on the team, right? I'm not saying that Cam Ward isn't a star, but Shedeur is Shedeur. He brings people wherever he goes. I could see him taking Shedeur Sanders easily over Cam Ward. I could also see him taking Cam Ward. I don't know if Travis Hunter is going to go first overall, just because he is a once in a lifetime talent. The thing is, are the Titans going to play him both ways? Are they going to move him to offense, or are they going to move him to defense? Because I don't think he is going to be a two-way player in the NFL, at least not for his entire career. It just doesn't make sense. I could see the team like the Patriots possibly picking up Travis Hunter, just because I think that you got two teams that need a quarterback and you got the Browns, who most likely aren't going to take a quarterback. They're most likely going to take Abdul Carter, which Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter is kind of an interesting move. Although Myles Garrett said that he likes the future plans, and they might involve a quarterback. So let's go to the NBA, where we have the MVP combo. Juris, you wanna start out on this one, buddy?
Yeah, I've said the whole time I think it should be Shea. He's leads the league in points, and I think he's like fifth in the defense player of the year. So I think that says a lot about him. Jokic has all the stats to back up. I get it. It's probably one of the best seasons in NBA history on the offense side of the ball, but defensively he has struggled. I think he's top five ever this in when he's guarding the rim 65% of the time the other center is scoring on, which is not very good. So I think it should be Shea. His record is insane. They're 29-1 against the East, which is also just baffling. So I think it should be Shea.
Barrett.
Completely disagree. It should be Jokic. My most valuable player is the award. All right, let's listen to this. All right, if you take Shea Gilgeous-Alexander off of the Oklahoma City Thunder right now, they're still a top 5 team in the West, easily. If you take Jokic off of the Nuggets, they would be lucky to make the play-in tournament. That's my argument. Jokic, I mean, you just watch him every night. It's insane what he puts up. Obviously, Shea has the numbers, but he does lead the league in free throws attempted. So a little bit of a foul baiter. I personally do not like those kind of players, and that's my reasoning.
I I don't like Shea, the free throw merchant. I don't like free throw merchants. I'm gonna go Jokic here. Dude is on fire. I don't really care about the defensive stats. In all honesty, I think for an MVP award, it's really just a glorified offensive player of the year. And let's be honest, what Shea adds to the Thunder, Jokic adds 10 times more to the Nuggets in reality. Um, without Jokic on the Nuggets would not be any good. Shea, without being on the Thunder, I mean, the Thunder are probably one of the best constructed teams in the NBA right now. That's why I think Jokic is going to win it. I don't know. I don't like Shea. I really don't like Shea. I think he's a fun player to be around, but not to be around, but to watch. But don't like the free throw merchants. And that's it. That's all we got. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen? Nope. All right. We'll see you sometime. No promises this week. And Jesus loves you. Peace out. Watch some sports. They're fun. Adios.